Hey there, in this video I want to talk about scroll to section links in Webflow and how you can still use them when working with pages where those sections do not live. So my example right here, I have a couple of links in my nav bar, the About and Listings link, that scroll to sections on this homepage. So if I was to go to the published version of my project and click on About, it scrolls to About, and if I click on Listings, it scrolls to Listings. But I also have a blog page. So in this video I'm going to show you how when on those separate pages you can still have the links navigate to these specific sections. So before we hop back into designer mode, I want you to take a look at the URL structure in the browser. So we have our URL followed by a /, then the pound key, and then the section ID. So it says pound key listings. And if I clicked on About, that URL is now changed to the pound key and then About. This pound key is what identifies the ID. So once I'm back in designer mode, I'm going to go down to this About section. And because my nav bar is fixed, I'm using a special div as an anchor link for my ID to account for the nav bar. So in this anchor link, I have the ID of About. And that's what's generating that ID in the URL. Similarly, if I was to scroll down to listings, I have another anchor link with the ID of listings. So what I could do is, the first thing I'm going to do is go to my nav bar, and I'm going to make this a component. So I'm going to right click the element in the navigator, and I'm going to create a component, and I can call this navbar. And once I have this as a component, I'm going to modify this component. And for this specific example, I want to have it where the About and Listings, those specific links can be modified in the component panel on the right hand side. So I'm going to go to this About nav link, and where these purple dots are, we're going to create properties so that way we can modify it. So that way on those separate pages, we can specify to go to that specific URL. So I'm going to click on the purple dot for link. I'm going to create a new property, and I can call this About link. And then I'll do the same for listings. Create. And now this is just a broad overview example, but when I create a property for these links, what that allows me to do is modify an individual instance of the component to change where that link goes. So I'm going to go into my blog page right now. I'm going to go to the blog page, and I can delete this nav bar. And then using the shortcut Command or Control E, I'm going to add in my nav bar component, and I'll put it to the top above the main wrapper. And then I can go to About and change the type to the first one where it's the link URL. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a / indicating that this goes back to the home page. Type in the pound key and then type in About. And then I'll do the same for listings. So I'll change the type to the first one. The URL is the / pound key listings. And now these two links on the blog page will go back to those specific sections on the home page. And if I was to go back to my home page and click on the same component and go to About, they're still scrolling to the specific sections on this page. So those changes I did only affect the component on this blog page. So I can go ahead and publish this. And I'll go back to my published site. I'll refresh, and I'll go to my blog page. And then I can click on About, and it goes to the About page, About section on my homepage. So with that said, if you were trying to navigate to a specific section on the blog, for example, the only difference would be that before the pound key and after the /, you would put the page name. So if we were trying to navigate somewhere on the blog, let's say the About section was on the blog, the URL you would use would be /blog # about. So there you go. That's how you could use scroll to section links on pages where those specific sections do not live. Hope this helps. Thank you for watching. Talk to you next time.